All right, so think about how hot it gets every summer in Texas. It's scorching. Now think about how it gets hotter every single year. Living in Denton, we've all been feeling it as a community with the extreme amount of heat, the water shortages, and the poor air quality. These issues are not just in Denton, but all across the world and America. Climate change isn't just some distant concern that we may push off for another day, but a massive concern that is affecting many lives every day around us. As large as this issue may be, there is one common theme in every effort to get rid of and slow climate change, and that's communication. The ways that we talk about climate change, how we share solutions to help fix climate change, and how we inspire each other to act regarding this problem are all important. I want to talk about how communication is a powerful tool in this fight against climate change, considering how much this problem affects the entire world as a whole. First, we got to start close to home, right? In Denton, Texas is one of the states in the United States that faces some of the most serious climate change challenges. No matter what we do, every summer it seems to feel hotter, droughts last longer, and we're struggling with water shortages that have an impact on everything in our communities, from our food to our daily routine. I will say that Denton has been stepping up in the mission to help fight climate change by starting things like the solar power programs that help to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. Through local outreach and school programs, the awareness has grown through the roof here and has proven to be one of the best ways of getting people involved. The Texas Commission of Environmental Quality reports that climate education in schools has boosted awareness by around 20%. That's a big deal, because when we're informed, we're empowered to take action. But while Denton's efforts are a great start, climate change requires coordination on a larger scale, beyond just the city limits. If we continue to look at our climate change in a national picture, the impact of it is even bigger. We have policies like the Clean Air Act, which has done a lot to help reduce the amount of pollution across the United States. In order for these policies to really work, it takes a large amount of public support. That's where national campaigns and communication have to come in. Thanks to a recent push, the plastic use of the United States as a country has dropped by 15%. The Environmental Protection Agency highlights how communication is capable of doing more than just informing. It helps by changing people's attitudes towards the issue and helps people to comply with the policies that have been put in place. It shows us that when we as a country and government come together, there are real sustainable practices that we can use, and that will start to feel normal. But of course, climate change doesn't stop at our borders, so let's look at a global scale. The arguably most important stage is the global stage, in which climate change is as much of a diplomatic issue as it is an environmental issue. Every year, we've begun to see events like the United Nations Climate Change Conference, or the COP, where countries try to come together and agree on goals for reducing the amount of carbon emissions and how to protect the environment and communities around it. Having so many countries involved, there are many cultural and language differences which can create barriers between these countries. That's why international communication is so difficult and requires a lot of effective communication between these countries. As the UN says, cooperative communication is essential for global commitment. Without open dialogue, these agreements wouldn't even be possible. It's a reminder that global action depends on our ability to connect and to communicate across cultures and with each other. So, what can we do, and how can we each make a difference every day? As we've seen today, through our research, climate change is a massive issue that affects at every level within the world. From issues in our town, to our country, to our world, climate change has had its effect on everyone. But whether it's helping create local action, building national support, or uniting global unity, communication is what makes this all work. Here in Denton, communication is what keeps the people here so engaged. Nationally, it helps people build and support for the policies that make big differences. Globally, this allows other countries to work together no matter what their differences may be. We are capable of sharing the knowledge we've gained and supporting policies that make sense, and staying informed about the issues at hand. Make sure to remember that using our voice is the greatest way that we can make a real impact in the fight against climate change. So let's keep talking, keep learning, and work together to protect our planet, not just for us, but for the future generations as well. Thank you.